Hello everyone and welcome into a brand new Reacts video. By now, if you're on YouTube, you have seen us react to the first Harry Potter movie recasting video from Bryan and we are on to the Chamber of Secrets. So kick back, relax, and let's talk Harry Potter.
So it seems like majority of you really enjoyed the last video where I recast Harry Potter for today.
I did enjoy it,
let's move
correct.
on to Chamber of Secrets. And of course, if you haven't seen it yet and you're wondering,
I just want to point out in the books, Harry's parents retain their age look of 21 instead of looking like actual adults. It's always bugged me a bit in the movies.
Why I didn't cast a certain character? It's probably because I did it in that first video where I recast Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So everyone from Dumbledore to Snape was cast as new actors for a television series. So we can really focus in on the story and not be restricted by time like the movies were. Also, a couple corrections about that video. As many of you pointed out,
I still think people...
Adam Driver, who's in his 30s, is actually perfect age for Snape. I mentioned he's a little bit younger for the role, which is obviously not the
I got
case.
a really good kick out of the Adam Driver as Snape thing. I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud for sure.
When talking about Adam
It was
Driver.
good.
Also, a good number of you keep on mentioning how expensive this potential TV series would be.
That was me.
This is a fantasy cast. Therefore, I'm going for the actors I feel fit.
That was me. I said that a
I'm
bunch.
assuming that pretty much we're going to have a massive budget when it comes to this series, because it's Harry Potter. So let's recast Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets.
All right, here we go. Who's going to be Fred and George, do we think?
So, Chamber of Secrets. In my
Or
opinion,
Ginny. Who's
the
going to be
worst Harry
Ginny?
Potter film, but not the worst story. The mystery element and the question of if our main character is...
I also agree it is the worst Harry Potter film. It is, but I have some problems. I have a very high amount of problems with almost every film, except for Prisoner of Azkaban.
Actually, the one opening the chamber is great. When you're talking about casting, it's appropriate to start with a role that's pretty much recast every movie anyways. That's the professor who teaches defense against the dark arts. The one
Oh
job
dear,
in
who's going to be
Hogwarts, it's
Lockhart?
pretty much a revolving door.
Gilderoy
So,
Lockhart.
I'm going to start with Gilderoy Lockhart. The man, the myth,
Kenneth
the legend,
Branagh.
or so he'd have you believe.
Love him.
He's won awards for his heroic acts, and he has the personality to match those stories. Of course, he never actually did those acts.
All right, just to be clear, for those of you who didn't watch the first one, I loved almost all of his casting. I thought he was really, like, Bryan puts a lot of effort into this.
But he is...
I'm rather gifted with memory charms.
I mean, he's obviously very handsome. He has blonde, wavy hair. He's known for his flamboyant
Friggin'
clothes.
Molly's getting in there.
His love for vanity.
Yeah,
Clear
forget my
answer for
husband.
Lockhart.
This guy's
And
a...
actually the original cast.
This guy's a heat-seeking missile for my heart.
Unfortunately, I think he's kind of aged out of the role, and I'd like to see someone with more of a spring in their step. So therefore, it won't be Hugh Grant at all. So for Lockhart, I think Ewan McGregor.
Ah!
He has a suave nature to him.
Yes!
He can play roles
Absolutely.
very big or very small, and I feel like there's a
Absolutely,
hint of
Ewan
humor involved with
McGregor.
his performances and in a lot of his roles.
I had this jacket. I took my eye off the ball just
Yeah.
for a moment. I had this. Ow, careful.
McGregor has always
I love
made
that, Ewan
great
McGregor.
acting
Yeah.
choices. And he could definitely do something interesting with the role. He
100%.
can be classically trained and more Shakespearean if they choose to go the way that Kenneth Branagh played the role.
I gave Qui-Gon my word. I will train Anakin.
That being said, I'd like to see Ewan make it his own and really explore what.
Yeah,
he'd like
Ewan
to do with
McGregor
the
would be
character.
great.
So Ewan McGregor is Gilderoy Lockhart.
He looks good. I can see it already. Very good.
Next, let's tackle the Weasleys, Arthur and Molly. They provide the much-needed support and just consistency in Harry's life. They're always there for Harry, and you can
I'm
just
excited to
feel
see who
them.
he picks for these.
Now, I took a look at actors who naturally are ginger first. Yes, some may work, but I feel that I picked two that are just too good to look just because
In
their
Australia,
haircut
they're
isn't
called
exactly
rangas.
correct. So
You're a
first off,
ranga, Harry.
Arthur Weasley. His unassuming nature and his obsession with the Muggle world brings a lot of comedy to the character.
I just want to point out, he's probably the worst person. Like, he studies muggles and messes this up so often. He doesn't understand anything about them, and he studies them.
So I think it would be important to cast someone with good timing, and preferably someone who has experience in comedy. Someone who can play calm and welcoming, but kind of dorky. I think Martin Freeman would be perfect for the role and played very well.
I agree.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Again, so good. Another Sherlock cast member. Andrew Scott was in the last one.
Have you eaten? It's not that I don't like visitors. I like visitors as much as the next hobbit.
Oh,
But I do like to know them.
Martin
before they
Freeman
come
is so good.
visiting.
That's a good pick. I
I
approve.
don't know either of you. Not in the slightest.
I couldn't have picked someone
I don't
better
think-
than Martin
nothing
Freeman, I don't
but
think.
but I
That's
have
a
to
really
speak
good
my
pick.
mind. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Although he doesn't strictly meet the physical description of the character in the books, who's described as thin and going bald, I think he embodies that perfect dorkiness and loving nature that
Yeah.
I've always pictured Arthur having.
I think so too.
So, Martin Freeman as Arthur Weasley.
That Photoshop, I love that.
Now for Molly. She's very much the head of the Weasley family, someone who is extremely loving, but has a firm side to her. Honestly, if you've ever seen Doctor Who before, there's a clear image in my mind, and I'm hoping in your mind as well, because Alex Kingston, who plays River's Song, is absolutely perfect for this role. I highly suggest you watch the Matt Smith seasons of Doctor Who to experience
have
some of the
seen
best
them.
TV ever, but honestly, you will see Alex in all her glory.
Sometime in the future, I just give you my screwdriver.
Yeah,
And why would I do that?
I didn't pluck it from a cold, dead hands, if that's what you're worried about.
And I know that because
Listen to me. You've lost your friend. You're angry. I understand. But you need to be less
I don't know
emotional.
about this pick. I've watched Doctor Who.
Emotional. There are
It's not striking me as like a, ooh, that's Molly Weasley.
Dear God, you're
I don't have anything to say against it though.
Who are you?
So I guess that means I think it's good.
She can play soft or firm, which perfectly matches Molly. So Alex Kingston as Molly Weasley.
All right, yeah.
Now onto
Yeah.
another role, which premieres in the Chamber of Secrets. Lucius Malfoy, who's obviously a Death Eater and follows Voldemort. His character arc is one that gets severely sidelined in the films, and it would be great to see it come into fruition in a potential TV series. Therefore, we need an actor who can handle this turn and the weight
All right.
it puts upon
Who's
him, all
Lucius?
while being
Also, I do want to say that Lucius, like out of all the characters that get shafted in the movies, Lucius is not one of the main ones. Right? You get the gist of who Lucius is and what he's about. Do they play it very differently? Yes, but I think by the end of the books and the end of the movies, you get the same general feeling. It's not that close, but like close enough on Lucius.
menacing and daunting on screen. Look no further than Mads Mikkelsen, who is no
Yes!
stranger to playing villains.
100%.
Could provide some growth for this one.
Woohoo! I like this pick.
Realize you have a choice.
This is very nice. This is a very nice
Angel
pick.
Maker will be destroyed by what's happening inside his head. You don't have to.
Can we just appreciate the amount of work he
Mads
puts
Mikkelsen
into
as
these
Lucius
videos?
Malfoy.
That's so much work to find the clips, do the photoshopping.
Now,
Oh.
originally in the first video, I said I wouldn't be casting any of the child.
Again, I really like Ron's tie situation. I think it perfectly sums up Ron as a person, as opposed to Hermione, who's all done up properly, and Harry, who's kind of in the middle somewhere.
Child actors. Yes, it's true I want them to be unknowns, and I want us to grow up with these characters and watch them get older. But there are some characters in Hogwarts, and some students, who don't age. Like Moaning Myrtle, who before her death was made fun of and bullied at her.
Jodie Comer. I want Jodie Comer to play Moaning Myrtle. This is the first one I've had a visceral reaction to. I want Jodie Comer to play Moaning Myrtle.
Time in Hogwarts. It's important we cast someone with a loud, booming voice and can really fill up the room with a personality. That's why I'm casting Beanie Feldstein, who was amazing in Booksmart. She's
Okay, I don't
definitely
know
the
who she
personality
is.
match.
You can't do anything unless you're the center of attention, can you?
But she is American. But considering she's right in line with the character, I think it's as simple as.
I'm
slapping
sticking with my
Jodie
Jodie Comer pick for Moaning Myrtle.
Pictured for Moaning Myrtle.
Wait, are you guys talking about Molly Davidson?
I think Jodie Comer could be a good Luna Lovegood as well if she was younger.
40. Molly's like a butter face for personality. A butter personality.
Yeah.
So bad.
I don't know who this is at all, so I'll just go with it.
What?
Imagine getting paid. So I did 10 years of acting when I was a kid. Imagine, so like this guy's making at least $500 today. Anytime your face is like actually on the screen and identifiable as you, the amount of money you make as opposed to being an extra, which at least when I did it was like in the 100 to 200 Canadian dollars a day. This is at least 500, at least like when I was $500 a day to draw a dick on draw a dick on the wall here.
What?
Oh. Oh, please do not stop on my account.
So Beanie
I do
Feldstein
suppose that Moaning Myrtle
as
will get a
Moaning
lot more
Myrtle.
time in a TV series.
Now, a character
As
that
opposed
was
to
in
the
Chamber of
movies?
Secrets, who's a student that doesn't really age, is Voldemort. Well, not really Voldemort, but a younger version of Voldemort. Tom Riddle, the bratty version of Voldemort, if you will. described as dark.
Harry's best friend Tom.
The books. I feel like the version we saw on screen was a little bit too...
The amount of times in this book that Harry considers Tom to be like a friend is very funny until the reveal that he's Lord Voldemort. The best friend Tom memes, especially if you've listened to Binge Mode, are so good.
Theatrical. I mean, it works in the movie that they made, don't get me wrong. But I feel like a much more complex take on the big bad is necessary.
And it is difficult to cast someone so young with that much screen presence. But I feel like Timothy Chalamet...
Yeah! Okay. Okay, I love Timothy Chalamet. I love Timothy Chalamet.
He has no right claim to his throne.
All monarchy is illegitimate. You yourself are the son of a usurper.
I understand.
I can see Timothy. I mean, again, I'm worried about the budget, but I think even if you do this as a TV series, right? That version of Tom Riddle gets like an episode, maybe some flashback sequences in the Chamber of Secrets season. So he's not even on screen that often. So again, I worry about the budget, but I think Timothy Chalamet would be good for that.
Have a very youthful face, and I could totally buy into him being...
If you're going for people you know.
I mean, he's been playing around that age for the last couple of years. And he's one of the few actors under the age of 30 today that really have that presence and has what's required to be a big bad in a series like Harry Potter. So Timothy...
Okay, Tom Riddle, Diary Tom Riddle is not that much of a big bad compared to the big bads coming up.
Chalamet as Tom Riddle. Now there are smaller roles that need to be cast as well, like the voice of Aragog. I feel like Jeremy Irons would be a fantastic choice.
I don't know who Jeremy Irons is.
His deep voice and his experience in voice acting.
To the typewriter, Crookshanks. I beg your pardon, sir, but you seem to suspect me of criminal activities, as if I were
I don't really have an opinion on the voice of Aragog, because I feel like it can be digitally altered to kind of get what you need from a spider voice. But I would like to shout out just the amount of work this guy goes in,
Dobby's hard,
or puts in to find all these characters.
Harry Potter.
All right, Dobby.
Such an honor it is.
Honestly, I don't think I could hear another person doing the voice. This role might actually be one that's strictly coming down to a voice actor. Not a big name, but someone who really does something that sounds authentic to the character. I'm not going to cast someone specifically, because I think that the voice of Dobby should really be specific to Dobby, and not just someone's normal voice.
Fair
enough. I can't just stick an actor in here, because I think it needs to be created. It needs to have a voice actor really bring this character to screen with something we've never heard before, like Dobby originally. So that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets with a new cast. Let me know if you enjoyed this one. Give this video a thumbs up.
I sure did.
Subscribe.
I love talking Harry Potter.
Cast Prisoner of Azkaban and the rest
of the
Harry Potter series. And let me know some of your choices. I loved reading the last comment.
So far in 2 movies worth, I've only had one visceral, like, I know who I want in that role, and it was Jodie Comer as Moaning Myrtle. Ah, man. I can't get it out of my head now.
And as always, thank you to my patrons, Adam Gray, Jeremy Jacobs, Jenny Edwards, Gabe Marchand, Gunnar Lakeland, Colleen West.
All right, we are on to his patrons. This was a video made by Bryan Seeker. He's got a YouTube. He's got a Patreon. Go and say hello to him if you enjoyed these videos. He has done an absolutely wonderful job. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you like the video, like the video. It's not that hard, and it helps other people find it. Also, hit that subscribe button if you want more React videos like this. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.